the Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this very special episode of Talk Wrestling here across the Multiverse of Media. Yes, I am good old JM. That's why my name's on the marquee twice, because it's my show. I can do what I want. I have come before everybody today because I know there's a lot of questions going around within the fandom, if you will. I wanted to address them before things got too out of hand. Right, because I know when it comes to these bunch of microphones in front of everybody, things get a little crazy, a little wound up here at these junkets, these press conferences, if you will. So rather than have all the Tony Khan type bullshit going on at my press conference, I'm going to nip this shit right in the bud, as they used to say on the Andy Griffith Show. So first of all, I'm going to put the banner back up there just so everybody can see it. It's not going to be your usual standard Q&A fare on Talk Wrestling, at least not to the very end. We will answer any questions we have that don't relate to these channels. I'll go ahead and so you can see James' channel. James' channel. There you go. Until the end. You want a super chat? That's a whole other story, because super chats always get addressed with the highest of priorities. So again, thank you everybody for being here today. No, I'm not trying to be anybody. I'm just trying to be me. So it was decided among the group of us, and I say that with a tip of the cap, if you will, to JJ, to Greg Cherry, to Aaron, to Noah Foster, and to James Hebert, that beginning the week of May 1st, the Greg Cherry Show will no longer be on the Jeff Meacham Network YouTube channel or any of the social medias contained therein, whether I'm on the show or not. And again, my attendance on Wednesdays is compulsory to the fact that day is not is the one day a week I have that I can do medical appointments and different things along the way, because my mother also has a day off of work, so I can take my son to medical appointments or other, what do you call it? I think that's where I'm going for. Just other errands we have to run. Wednesday's our day. So that's why my appearance on Greg Cherry Show has not always been reliable, and we decided, you know what? It is what it is. So there is that. Now, I will say, while we don't get to have the privilege of anything but talk wrestling primarily from the Jeff Meacham Network things on NoDQ.com, we are still in full partnership with wrestling's homepage since 1998, NoDQ.com, and we encourage everybody, if you're not watching on NoDQ, first of all, which is a good majority of you actually, which I appreciate everybody watching on the Jeff Meacham Network tonight as well. So we're going to be spamming, so we're just going to put you in timeout until you can behave yourself. Cool. Very good. Now, Aaron, of course, will have his weekly recaps of Monday Night Raw, AEW Dynamite, and SmackDown each and every week that he is able to watch. Of course, the predictions for WWE Premium Live events and AEW reviews, as well as the recaps of those shows. And as always, the weekly No DQ review hosted by the man, the myth, the legend, Virtue. So check that out over at NoDQ.com. Now, as far as the other channels here behind me, let me go ahead and give that one more look. There you go. Ooh, look at me. We are privileged here at the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media to have the content from FTW Productions that I want to give a quick little, and I say quick, it's a 4-minute presentation because James is awesome like that. But in case you're already not watching the FTW channels, which I don't know why you're not, because you're crazy if you're not. It's good shit, pal, as the old man would say. I definitely want to give everybody a chance to check this stuff out. And here's what you're missing. Head over and like, subscribe, turn the bell on for FTW Productions, because this is what's coming up here already on or in the very near future.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul. It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Button Master Stable Wars entire playlist. AEW Revolution Go Home Week, Dynamite and Rampage watch parties. Mistress Audio dramatic readings featuring voice actors from Weymouth Youth Wrestling. Elimination Chamber retrospective. All WrestleMania-themed retros by Wrestling Fortune 44 Incorporated. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Let's Play series. WrestleMania 19 Revenge Mode Let's Play series. All of A Simple Man's Brand Simply Predicting panels. Both episodes of The Don DeMarco Show. AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, every show week by week. The entirety of the NASCAR Thunder 2004 Let's Play series. Past and upcoming Jeff Meacham Network watch-along coverage. FTW Productions watch party for WrestleMania Go Home Raw. A Simple Take, WWE Simple Takes featuring Cassidy 18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting. Episode 3 coming soon. Breaking news. ATW View Impromptu. WYW Intro and Immortal Stream. Wrestling with Idiocy Episode 7. Our favorite WrestleMania matches. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
And again, I want to welcome in for the first time on Talk Wrestling, I think, ever. I'm not really 100% sure on that because my brain is fried. It is what it is. James Hebert, the Heat Man, the Silk Man, the spectacular voice, Noah Foster, our play-by-play and commentary team par excellence for all things AEW, Impact Wrestling, and everything not WWE pretty much, especially after Sunday at WrestleMania, right, James? Anyway, James, that we get to see that clip every week on open mic night, or at least a version of it that you put together because you do it so well, and I really appreciate that. Let me actually, that's the wrong background. I messed that up. There we go. Oh, it's too much yellow. That's okay. So talk about the channel a little bit, James, for people watching that haven't seen your content, haven't seen your channel yet. What can they expect to see if they go to the multitude of things you create on the regular?
Well, as far as things that we do for FTW Productions, it's really spread across 8 different channels. We're a family, much like the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, if you will, with my friend Owen and his 2 channels, Noah Foster and his channel and his content. That's also a part of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media. You got my channel. You got Kuzan's Twitch channel. You have Mistress Audio's YouTube channel, who just joined this last year, not too long ago. Both of them joined last year, and everything in between. So this is what you can expect to see on everything as far as content is concerned. So as far as Noah stuff, I'll let him take it over first and get his plugs out of the way, and then I'll move on to my multitude of plugs that I got to do.
And Noah, again, I've had the great fortune of, being acquainted with you through your fandom of the No DQ content originally, and found out you have a knack for that commentary thing, brother. And I am so grateful to have you along, calling every single watch along we do on the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse Media. As far as play-by-play goes, I mean, I'll go ahead and throw that in there now, before we get to the shows you do for yourself on the regular. Each and every Impact show we cover, which as of now we have 5 left in the year, and that's ones we know of anyway. Of course, AEW has 3 confirmed left. Of course, we haven't heard about All Out or Full Gear as of now, but that can change as Tony do. And then, of course, WWE coming up the rest of the year with Backlash, King and Queen of the Ring, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Again, Survivor Series not confirmed, but as we said privately in our chat, if they don't do Survivor Series, we're going to have everybody having a stroke because it's one of the core shows. But other than what you do for us, which is so much, where else can the people that don't get to see you on No DQ or the Jeff Meacham Network every week, what is it you have going on out there in the Ethernet, if you will?
I never thought I would even be a part of this. So first off, on behalf of you, James, the entire chat community, and everybody that's been along for the ride too, thank you for welcoming in this simple, lifelong fan of pro wrestling since his first venture into internet content creation in October 2018. What started with just discovering No DQ has become a lifelong passion that I will continue to. So you all can find me once in a while on the social media, as I am on there once in a while, primarily on the Twitter and YouTube. Instagram, I provide pictures that relate to a story, whether it's family or wrestling, and it's all at nfoster1916. Primarily, my channel, though, has become a simple foundation of predictions and reviews. The simple takes, the simply predicting. And, of course, we'll continue this Friday with Impact Wrestling Rebellion, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live with me and my Impactful Faithful panel as we discuss Rebellion. And, of course, primarily outside that, everything else is a shared content across the Jeff Meacham Multiverse of Media and a collaboration project. Whether it's commentary, live watch on events, open mic night panelists, whether it's AEW Spark, the weekly forum where we ignite the conversation on all things All Elite Wrestling, and that will come due to a schedule change this Friday. Finding me is pretty simple, where, again, I don't really do a whole lot. I'm just here to try and encourage all of you to just your life and enjoy wrestling, too.
There you go. James, before we get into and I want to make sure I get the headlines out there because I'm just changing every day. I want to make sure we got James's thing up there as well. Part of that trailer that we've run at least the last few months has been about a project that's been very close to you and your family, and that's the book that we advertised where they were playing the baseball-centric theme. So we encourage everybody to go back and watch that, hit that QR code, and make that purchase on Amazon because we can't stress enough how amazing that story is. If you want to elaborate, you're more than welcome, of course, brother.
I'll be quick with it too because I know you're on a time crunch. But in a sense, it's a story about how my grandfather went and he was in the Boston Red Sox camp. He did make the Red Sox, but he was in the developmental for so long, and a lot of politics made him leave because he knew he was better than most people there, and he knew his worth. So he left, joined the Army, and ended up going into one of their teams and won the championship.
There you go.
The actual Army championship. They're very similar to how Lashley won the championship for wrestling while he was in the Army. So it's very similar in that regard. So that's basically what that story is. If you guys are interested in that and you're sports fanatics, definitely buy that. God rest his soul. He has now passed on as of a couple weeks ago. But we're still promoting that book in his honor. And I have his dog's tags in my backdrop now. I actually share his name. Somebody asked me who I am. My name is James Hebert. He was James Hebert. Every year we would go to KFC, celebrate our birthday because his was the 30th and mine was the 29th. We'd always get KFC. So there you go.
As anybody should, KFC, damn it all.
Exactly.
KFC's the shit.
What did they remove the cornbread muffins?
The double down too. The double down's back. I'm happy about that. But enough about fast food.
Well, I was gonna say, you get me KFC's macaroni and cheese, Popeyes biscuits, and kind of take your pick of any really chicken strips. But KFC's are the best. Man, you got me. You got a friend in me for life, brother. Anyway. Mm-hmm. Big G, first of all, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. And he simply says, thank you for letting me be part of this ride. Big G, as always, happy to be here.
Always happy to be here.
Appreciate it, brother. So, yes.
But, yeah, as far as everything goes, yeah, you saw it all on screen. The content that we provide is we do a lot of wrestling content. We do a lot of non-wrestling content. We do gaming content. As Noah said, he does his Simply Predicting panels and Simple Takes that he now does in conjunction with myself and Cassidy 18th Studios, JJ. Yes. He does ATW View on his channel that I help him produce as well. So those are the 4 shows that you could expect to see every week on his channel as well.
From out of nowhere, particularly that one.
Especially from out of nowhere. And also coming soon, Honor Hub. Stay tuned for more on that as we go on. As far as stuff that Noah does outside of his channel, AEW Spark, where him and I cover everything All Elite Wrestling. Yes, everything, including AEW Dark and Dark Elevation. You don't want to watch the shows for whatever reason, or you just don't have the time, but you want a quick recap, Noah and I have you covered. We run through it all. We give you the rundown. We also have a spinoff show called WWE Aftershock, where Owen Finch and Chris Dodd run down all things WWE content on the Wrestling Fortune 44 channels. You can find both of those shows as well as the Retro Wrestling Review Series, where we have done a total of 19 retros this year, including 12 of which being retro WrestleMania themed.
Yes.
So go check that out. One of which, yours truly, the man on the marquee, was actually on for WrestleMania 24 Retro.
Yes, I was happy to be a part of that because I was there. So it was really cool.
Yeah, so check all that out. And on top of that, if I could see the graphic there, and then
sorry, give me a second. I'm trying.
Yeah, because it's hard to.
Where did I find?
Hard to remember everything, right, man?
All right, cool. So yeah, on my brother Casey's channel as well. Oh, also Fantasy Booking Series as well, yes. Which I don't believe is on here, but that just relaunched today on Owen's channel as well. Fantasy Booking Series is back, and the second part of myself and Owen as a tag team in WWE 2012 is up right now, and that will soon be live in the time being. On my buddy Casey's channel, Insanity Works Incorporated, you get to see watch-alongs of not just wrestling, but soon movies. We're going to be doing watch-alongs of that, basically audio, just watching old movies, whatever they may be. We're going to be watching it, having a good time, and just putting on a movie. Pretty cool little intro as well to enjoy it. So if you want to shoot the shit with us about the movie we're watching, have a good time. We're the guys for that, whether it's movies, wrestling, what have you. We also do Wrestling with Idiocy, where Casey and I will talk about wrestling, but also things not wrestling soon to come up. One of the shows that we have up there right now in the archives, if you want to check it out, interview with No DQ affiliate and friend Wade Needham. In relation to CAW wrestling creators, because I myself am a CAW wrestling creator, which I'm going to plug at the very end here. But yeah, that's what you can expect on that channel. You could also expect Button Mashers. Button Mashers is a big contributing thing on our channel where we do a lot of gaming, lots and lots of gaming, basically primarily gaming on there. And Stable Wars, where if you're familiar with New Legacy Inc., you know what Stable Wars are. We use Smash Brothers Remix for our Stable Wars as of right now. On top of that, on my channel, I do content and review, which is going to be coming back this year in full time. The Don DeMarco Show, which is breaking down bar for bar music with my buddy King A-Train, who also is on ATW View Impromptu. You guys can check out Jay Heber theme edits, which are all archived on my channel right now, which are the most viewed videos that I have on my channel, which is how I got my big break here on YouTube. And also the Jay Hebert side of things, if you want to know my takes on professional wrestling, on YouTube, or on combat sports, or on NASCAR, and what have you. Finally, last but not least, after all is said and done, the big W that you saw, Weymouth Youth Wrestling, that's my CAW league. So if you guys were a fan of No DQ CAW, Weymouth Youth Wrestling, I have ran for a number of years and plan on doing for the foreseeable future. We are 2 months away from recording a 52-week juggernaut schedule for a year of full-on wrestling production with original CAW characters, mixing it up with some old CAW favorites like Maya Inca Boy, for example, from WCW NWO World Tour, and I'll even spoil it, Rob Van Dam, a part of the show.
Nice.
So, wrestlers, CAWs from the past, and CAWs that we have created all in one place on that show, and it's 52 weeks. That's coming up very soon. We are working tirelessly to get that done. That is what you can expect from FTW Productions, as well as I said, Firelord Kuzan and Mistress Audio. I almost forgot about Mistress Audio. Shared experiences, ASMR, shared experiences. That's my proudest work outside of WIW.
Right on.
You want to know what I'm about? You want to know more information about me? Go check that out. Me and Mistress basically did our thing. It's based on a true story because I have full-blown autism, and it goes over our characters, even though it was really what we went through, being bullied for being autistic and being able to overcome that and into where we are today. So that's basically what you can expect from FTW Productions as a whole.
Right. Before I let you two go and we go into the next trailer, I did want to bring in the other we call ourselves the Open Mic Night Core 4 because we're the four that are always part of one way or the other over on a Saturday night on the Multiverse of Media. We'll bring in JJ real quick here. Mr. Williams, good to see you for the night, sir.
Good to be seen.
Hey.
I guess better good to be seen than good to be had, I reckon. Anyway, we'll go ahead and move right along on Tuesday. I wanted to bring you in before we do the official cast trailer because I was talking about the watch-alongs, and I mentioned to the public, if you will, by the way, great bio on Dusty and Andy Sunday night. My God, it was one of the best ones they did so far. He's so good. There's the one, Aaron. Sorry. Anyway.
Damn it.
Sorry.
Had to be at least one.
Hey, you know what? Better do it now than with Jargo on, because Jargo gets really wound up when I steal his. He gets all torqued out of shit.
Right.
Anyway.
And if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you don't, watch the ODQ review, for the love of God, people.
What are you doing, folks? Watch the review. Support No DQ. Say yes to them.
I mentioned that Noah and James are our the Multiverse of Media's commentary team par excellence for AEW, Impact, and everything else. But you two, Noah and JJ, are the WWE team, and you have been for the better part of a year. I just wanted to acknowledge you as part of that watch-along staff because, man, WWE has given us some good shit to sink our teeth into, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the year and the rest of the summer with that going on. So I just wanted to
absolutely
thank the three of you for carrying the commentary load because as I found out all the way back to 2005, I'm a hell of a producer. I'm a hell of a content creator, but goddamn, do I suck on commentary. So there is that. Now, granted, I was able to do
And
my
if you
thing
don't
on
believe him, go back and rewatch Raw is 30 with me and his call.
It's rough. It's rough stuff. I will take a little bit of a maybe a butt or two for Multiverse United having to fill in because James realized how freaking late it was because they ran on New Japan time on that shit. But
Basically, yeah.
I mean, what's your
assholes.
sleep? I mean,
But,
I just caught everything across the 4 weeks. I just had fun.
It was so much fun getting ready for WrestleMania week. I'm damn sure convinced how I got COVID because my reserves were so down from being on the hard hit for over 3 weeks. But it is what it is. Like I said, I enjoyed it myself. Quick couple super chats before we go into the next trailer. Josh, of course, who was along for the ride during Snapway Sports Bar today, he says with a $2 super chat, let's keep this fun going. Hashtag Team Jam for Life. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that. And the Torvik23 with the $2 super chat says, "Sup, foos."
Sufus.
There you go. Sup, foos.
Sup, Torvik.
Appreciate you, brother. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go to our next trailer, which is primarily about the gentleman in the lower left here, because this is what you can see coming up very soon, actually this month, exclusively, for most of it, on the Casa de Teen Studios. Take a look. All right, and we're back on the air with the Renegade himself, JJ Williams. That looks like shit when it looks like that, doesn't it? Let's see if we can make that better. Too close. No. Zoom. Bad.
That's better.
Anyway,
that's better.
That's okay.
Really quickly, before we get into the presentation and what you have to talk to me about,
Yes, sir.
As the trailer was rolling, I scrolled through some of the comments there. I just wanted to take a moment, acknowledge King Mike, who acknowledged me in there. And I wanted to take a second to acknowledge Virtue. And Virtue, I will be there Sunday if you'll have me, good sir.
I Virtue was there. Where
Yeah, he commented, JJ, come back to the review. So
Oh, there you go.
If you will have me on Sunday, good sir, I will be there. Puck's in your zone right now.
He is more than welcome. Real quick before we get before like you said, before we get into your spiel, your shtick, if you will, I meant to have this go up, while he was on, but since I didn't have the opportunity to do that, I will go ahead and throw this up there and leave it here for a moment. This is the book that James was talking about, his grandfather's book, The Magic of the Team by Jim Hebert. Please, everybody, if you're at home, scan the QR code. I'll go ahead and see if I can do the whole.
There you go.
Oh, I can. Look at that. So yeah, scan that QR code. Get yourself in there at Amazon and purchase that right now. And we'll leave that up here for just a moment while we talk about the multitude of stuff that you have going on. For somebody that was completely out of the game for as long as you were, dude, you have dived in. You're pretty much neck deep at this point with all this shit going on the casa itself, let alone the partnership with us.
Yeah, that's not even a lie. I mean, I came back and I started doing my movie reviews about 2 years ago, and I was balls to the wall like 7 days a week,
Right.
and it just exhausted me.
Yeah.
And especially since at the time I wasn't really seeing any traction.
Yeah.
Took the few months off. Get my situation taken care of, moved from Rancho Cucamonga to Victorville.
Yes.
And came back and I started doing, you can kind of call it a lighter schedule. I mean, I was doing 3 days a week. I was doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Right.
And then I figured out something to do on the weekends, new release Saturdays and the War Zone. And I was good with that. And then the more things opened up, while I still think I'm just going to stick to that schedule for now, as far as the movie reviews go, there came opportunities.
Yes.
And you don't overlook an opportunity when it comes your way.
No.
The first opportunity that kind of came my way was open mic night a little over a year ago. And I was on the panel with you and James and Noah.
Right.
And it's funny because the first time I came on, it was just kind of let me see what this is all about.
Of course.
And then what it spiraled into, I couldn't have foreseen. I know you didn't initially foresee it. And it's just become this insane thing that now I'm spearheading. I'm producer man across the multiverse for it. I'm host for it. And then the next opportunity that came along was the commentary thing. This time last year, James was disgruntled with the WWE product. It took the huge news story about Vince leaving,
Yes.
and Triple H taking control for things to change a little bit. But when he left, we couldn't not cover WWE.
Right, of course.
It's like if we're going to do watch alongs for all the other stuff, we had to do the main company.
Well, of course.
And it was just, I kind of threw my hat in the mix there and was just like, well, let me see how I do.
Yep.
Because I feel like with all of my movie watching, I can do a good storytelling.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be the guy to sit there and talk about, he's got him in a headlock transitioning into, huh?
Yeah.
Even that shit gets lost on me sometimes with all the years that I've been watching the stuff.
Right.
But I can follow the storylines on TV.
Yes.
And then I can give my insights as to their motivations.
Right.
Within the matches and reading things on social media and getting other people's perspectives, like when I go on the No DQ review.
Right.
And I interact with Virtue and Aaron and Walter, and some of the other regulars over there. And like I said, it's just been opportunity after opportunity to now where I've almost got a full week worth of content, and half of it is, stuff that I don't produce, or I co-host, or it's a watch along or something.
Let's go into a deep dive into what is exclusively on your channel, because these four, and really Renegades is 3 days a week, so it's really 3, 4, 5 every day of the week. You've got something going on, be it classic content, thanks to myself and Aaron, and your own classic content, along with James and Noah's content. You've got the Warzone on Sundays, Statboy Sports Bar today, God help us, and
as touched upon, I got Renegades reviews. I do that 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are some classic movie review, usually within a theme.
Yes.
As you saw by the trailer, right now I'm doing movies that star musicians.
Yes.
So we've had, Dean Martin and Ricky Nelson and Rio Bravo. We had the Beatles and Help.
Yes.
We've got tomorrow is Dolly Parton in 9 to 5.
Nice.
This Friday is Prince in Purple Rain.
Oh, there you
go. Next week we've got David Bowie and Labyrinth. We've got Mick Jagger and Free Jack. We've got Kid and Play and Class Act. So definitely dabbling in all kinds of different genres of music, and not trying to be, well, okay, it's just rappers or it's just rock and rollers, you know?
Right.
Originally, I had thought to do an Elvis movie, but Elvis has such a deep filmography, you could almost do an entire month of just Elvis.
I was going to say, with you doing 3 days a week, you can probably get a good 15, 16 days out of that. You're good to go. So
Easy. On Saturdays, as I said, I usually do New Release Saturday. New Release Saturday doesn't always tie into the theme.
Right.
Because sometimes it's just difficult. You got to go with what's coming up in theaters.
Exactly.
This coming Saturday, I'm going to have John Wick Chapter 4.
There you go.
Which I went on Monday and I saw. Last week I had Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Some good stuff. I was able to loosely tie at least one weekend, because I've got a movie coming out called The Lost Weekend.
Yes.
Which is about the story of John Lennon and May Payne. And while it doesn't physically star John Lennon, it's an actor portraying him, it still kind of ties in because it's a movie about a musician.
And if we're being real, you've got John Wick. Lest we forget Keanu Reeves' musical roots, dude.
Yeah, for real. I mean, Ted Theodore Logan, one half of Wild Stallions.
And then, of course, Nick Cage is a hell of a singer himself when he wants to be. So, Renfield being on there is a good, good stuff, too.
Yeah,
I know I'm stretching like a mucker, brother, on that one.
Yeah, you very much are. As you touched on Tuesday's Stat Boy Sports Bar, it's always good to have my brother from another mother as a part of the channel.
Absolutely.
When the Casa D18 Studios channel first launched 12 years ago,
Jesus Christ,
it was us essentially. It was
right.
Me doing Renegade Wrestling one day and us doing Dads one day.
Yep.
And then about 7 months in, the expansion happened.
Yeah. And
when the channel expanded, that's when we got the Oft Forgotten After the Bell.
The real one.
We got, not Corey Graves' bastardized bullshit.
Thievery.
We got Stat Boy Rants. We got Double Down with Double A. We had Ringside Insanity for a little bit.
Yes.
And that show almost was the genesis of Renegades reviews, in a sense, because
very true.
While you guys started out talking about wrestling and stuff, every other show on the channel was already doing that.
Right.
And you were already covering it on Talk or on After the Bell.
Yes.
So it was like, well, what else can we do? So you guys started watching movies that either starred or had a wrestler in it, and you guys would talk about it.
Right. I remember. Yeah, absolutely.
And so Renegades reviews kind of indirectly spawned off of that. But it's, going back to Stat Boy Sports Bar, it's great to have Mikey as part of the channel. I know that originally started as a Jeff Meacham Network presentation.
Yes.
And
still Jeff Meacham production, but
things were what they were on your channel. You already had content going on Tuesdays. You didn't want to bog down the algorithm, mess up, your presentation. So it was like, well, let's move it over to my channel. Let's have the Stat Boy come home to the Casa channel. And, you know, kind of leave it that way.
Yep. It's
Throwback Thursday,
right.
you know, something that what a lot of people may not realize is that Throwback Thursday was something that was conceived between the two of us,
right,
and Aaron Rift.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In a group chat, you know.
Yep.
We started talking about stuff and kicking around ideas, and it started with doing a kind of a WW 24/7-esque
Yes.
type of concept. And it was like, well, I don't know if we have enough content for all of that.
Right.
Even with using stuff from No DQ and from the network and whatever, I think we had that much.
Right.
So we decided, okay, well, let's just do it like one day. I don't have anything going up on Thursday. You know, Aaron already was giving the okay to use the Talk Wrestlings off the channel. So I just kind of threw it out there, see if it would stick to the wall. It was like, what about No DQ&A and the review? And he was like, yeah, go for it.
It's classic now. So
I was like,
right?
Okay.
Yeah. Same thing I thought. I was like, and again, full disclosure, I didn't expect the talks with all of our associates in the past to go the way they did, and they all went completely against type. Like, I was flabbergasted that Aaron even, like, it wasn't even like, yep. Huh? But it was wonderful.
Yeah. So because of that, I've been able to present on Thursdays. You know, I always kick off each week with Talk Wrestling. Because as we've discussed on the air and in private, none of these other spinoff shows that you see on the channel there on Throwback Thursday, in my heart, and I'm sure in a lot of our fans' hearts, wouldn't even exist if it hadn't been for Talk Wrestling and XMV via proxy.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
So I always start each week with Talk Wrestling, and then from there we kind of spiral off.
Yeah.
You know, from Talk Wrestling, we go into a Hardy conversation. For now, only 9 episodes of that were ever made. Week 7 is this week, so there's only like 3 episodes left to air. From there, we go into the No DQ and AV.
Yes.
You know, once things happened with you and Aaron, and he had to spiral off and do his thing, this was his initial outing, his initial presentation. You look at that, and you look at his presentation in those early episodes, and then you look at the way he does his recaps now, and holy crap, you just watch how far that man has come, and it's amazing to look at and see a lot of the time. He started off so shaky because he had never been in front of the camera before.
Right.
And then you look at, like I said, you look at the recaps, you look at his presentation on the No DQ reviews, and it's polar opposites.
Yeah, it is.
So sharp, so crisp.
Yeah.
From there,
I go back and watch Talk Wrestling when you air it, and I go, God damn, ooh, it's rough. And again, that's with him behind the camera and filming me, and I'm get all the praise and the hot shit now, but it's like everybody was praising me back in 07. I will go back and go, y'all were praising that mess? I appreciate the shit out of it, but god damn, is it bad.
From there, each week we go into Renegade of Wrestling and Stat Boy Rants, and then Dad's on Wrestling, and that's just the first video every week.
Right. Yep.
From there, we go into the Indie Force podcast, which you heard James Hebert discuss a little bit, and we show those old episodes. And again, we always start with episode 1. We don't just pick and choose episodes to highlight.
Right.
Start at episode 1 and you run through. Even when you catch classic sitcoms in syndication, they start with episode 1 and they just start running through the seasons.
That's generally how you do it.
From there, we go into the No DQ review, to open mic night, and then finally we end up each week with the ATW View, courtesy of Noah Foster's channel. And it's just a great little collection hodgepodge of all of our classic stuff. You know, once the Hardy conversation has run its course in a couple weeks, I'm going to be plugging in Double Down with Double A into that spot of the video.
Right.
So then you're going to get to see our old cameraman, Aaron Austin. For those of you that have been fans of the channel for a long time, may remember that show. You're going to get to see those episodes again.
Right. Yeah.
And then the War Zone, that spun off of a segment we used to do on Renegade Recap, where I would show new stuff that I had gotten over the course of the month.
Yep.
And that segment would take a half hour, 45 minutes, because over the course of a month, I got so much stuff.
Right.
That I just decided, let me do a weekly show of this. And just figure out a theme each week, whether it's Dollar Tree DVDs or Dollar Tree Blu-rays or Goodwill or whatever.
Right. Sorry, trying to fix my damn setting. Sorry about that.
No worries.
But yeah, like I said, I am so tickled that we've got so much stuff going on. I get you know what? I said I wasn't going to address comments on the except for super chats, but I do want to bring this up because I guess some people missed the recap of WrestleMania or whatever. Noah Adonis is actually we have made nice. Noah and I, we saw each other at WrestleMania on the platinum level, because that's where I hang nowadays at SoFi Stadium, whatever. But thanks to Brett Buchanan, we have made nice, Noah and I. So it's I'm glad people remember Noah, because there was, when we weren't being legit antagonistic with one another, he and I, we actually proved some quality shit ourselves when we were running together. So, it's
for the go back in time and look up the SummerSlam 2010 video.
Nursemaid me like a newborn through my drunken ass first HD episode. Goddamn, was that a train wreck.
And my no DQ debut.
I was going to say, your no DQ debut. I'm pretty sure it was Ray's no DQ debut, because he was along for the ride at Bob's. That was a very interesting night. I remember pieces. I watched the video. I go, I don't remember. God, what the like. I think everybody that was part of the team or had been part of the team up to that point was at that venue at some point or another during the course of that night. And it was definitely a transition show, because you figure we kind of went HD from there and it just kind of moved forward from there. Within a year I was with you exclusively. And then, the SummerSlam 2010 was definitely a pivot point in more ways than one between WWE's presentation, our presentations. It was kind of what it was. So, it's been a wild ride, Mr. Toad style. And I can say that now because, they pay me too. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. But yeah, it's definitely cool to, and again, you mentioned the stuff that you and I either host together or you help me produce. I'll go ahead and throw that plug up since we're into it. Dads still even now is going strong. We have we're back on Fridays next week with our top 10 TV villains. That's going to be a thing next Friday. Of course, this show that's been going strong, for the better part of 15 years. We took a break. I'm not going to lie. Took a 3-year break because of my bullshit with Aaron. Open mic night has become legitimately my favorite part of the week when it comes to creating content. It's been so much fun. Just, have topics brought up, very much like a panel show. It's awesome to have that synergy. But I am going to announce in front of God and everybody, especially the folks watching No DQ, which again, I appreciate you guys watching No DQ tonight, that beginning Monday, May 1st, which I did announce as the official, relaunch, reboot, rebrand, whatever you want to call it, Frontline Flashback. And again, full credit to JJ for the name, because I had a whole other name in mind. But I'm going to examine the entirety, the 2 full decades of war that changed this business forever. And I'm not talking about just Nitro versus Raw or WWE versus WWE. I'm talking about the WWF before WrestleMania versus Jim Crockett Promotions when Flair and Dusty were doing Flair and Dusty things. So
there you go.
I'm going to enjoy the shit out of that. But those of you hip with the current products that are out there in television / pay-per-view / premium land, thanks to this guy and his video making skills, here is what is coming up the rest of the year that's actually scheduled and announced on the watch-along side of things for the Multiverse of Media. And I did show the other watch-along graphics earlier, but I did want to throw it out because I had, for some reason, forgotten you had WrestleMania 40 in that watch-along trailer. This is the plan as of now for myself and my kiddo to be in Philadelphia. I had said, I'm not going to Philadelphia. I'm not going to the Eagle State. I don't deal with that bullshit as a Cowboys fan. The hell with that. And then I realized it's his birthday that week. And he's on spring break. And we're going into a area of this country that really is where this country started. And junior year of high school, which he'll be going into after WrestleMania next year, that fall, it's U.S. history centric. So yeah, we can get a lot of good shit, well ahead of summer break even before junior year. So that is the plan for myself and by that point he'll be 16 and I'm not buying him a car because I haven't lost all of my sanity yet. He and I will be at the
Midnight Insanity.
Yeah, midnight or ringside insanity. Either one of those are not fully purged out of my brain, unfortunately. It is what it is. But yeah, the plan is for he and I to be at the Wells Fargo Center, he and I to be at Lincoln Financial Field, and let's not forget the history of wrestling in Philadelphia. I mean, the ECW Arena is there. There's so much quality things to check out there in Philly that we're going to make it a huge part of. And again, we will figure out the watch along stuff as we go.
WrestleMania
15 at the First Union Center, which is now called the Wells Fargo Center. But I know, I think it's either the Phillies Stadium or the 76ers Arena is on the side of the old Spectrum. And, the Philadelphia Spectrum was legendary in wrestling. I mean, there would be nights where Crockett, WWF would run Philly on the same night. WWF would be at the Spectrum, and Philly would be at the convention. WCW would be at the convention center. So, man, there's so much history. The first Ring of Honor show was in Philadelphia. I actually found that venue. So we'll see if we can get over there while we're over there. But I did want to say thank you very quickly before I dismiss everybody but me, because I do want to try to watch NXT tonight. I know people are watch NXT. Yes, I want to watch NXT. Goddammit. So thank you. We will see you. Today is Tuesday. Tomorrow for for Renegades reviews of which movies tomorrow.
9 to 5.
9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. And man, if anybody knows about what a way to make a living for Dolly Parton, it's certainly Stat Boy. So we'll check that out tomorrow. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow, and of course Saturday for Mike Night, one way or the other. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Greg Cherry is actually in the chat room. We'll give Greg a quick little shout out here. I don't know why this isn't working because this thing sucks. There it goes. Damn thing. Greg, good to see you, brother. I did make the official announcement about me not carrying the Greg Cherry show, but definitely going to have you be a part of it as far as live and when I can on Wednesdays. That's always the challenge, is to be part of the show when I can. And again, I did mention the nature of my Wednesdays being the days off that we have. So, but yeah, starting on April 26th, which is 2 Wednesdays from tomorrow, so 2 weeks from tomorrow, will be the last time that the Greg Cherry show is presented on the Jeff Meacham Network. And so there is that. And Big G's messaging me when I'm on the air, so I'll check it out momentarily. Anyway, let me see, make sure I get all the comments. Like I did say I would address questions that weren't related to plugging stuff later, so we'll go ahead and do that. Joey, I don't remember what side the stage was on at WrestleMania. You have to ask somebody that was there besides me. I know that where my original seats were, which was section 440 and section 550, we had what's called a limited view. So whatever side of the stadium that's on. So sorry I didn't get to it sooner, brother. Matt with a question. He says, if the IC champion was supposed to be the second best in the company, why haven't we seen Gunther versus Roman yet? I think the idea of the Intercontinental Champion being the number one contender has kind of been a played out thing, much like the U.S. titles kind of not got that recognition anymore either, Matt. But I'd pay to see Gunther and Roman. That'd be a kind of a cool, a one-off. Granted. So there is that. And again, I appreciate everybody that is sending questions during the show. As I stated at the top, once we got all the promotion and the plugs out of the way, we would go ahead and address what is going on now. And no, I'm not trying to be the next Walter White. I actually just like this hat. I like how it turned out. It was bought for me as a gift, so that's why. Big G, who was also super chat earlier, thank you, Big G. He said, talking to my buddy to get an interview with Hacksaw. That'd be great to have Hacksaw get an interview on one of our channels or another. So thank you, G. Appreciate that. And King Mike finally says, RVD and Jeff, the reasons I got and found No DQ many years ago. We appreciate that, man. That was one of the favorite things I ever did, was that 3-parter with Rob Van Dam on Talk Wrestling back in 2008. Of course, we had him on XMV prior to that a couple different times at the comic book store, both locations. So that was cool. Arlene, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that very much. No comment, but thank you again, Arlene, for always super chatting. Much appreciated. I think that's it as far as, let's see, as far as stuff I didn't get to in the process of promotion, plugs, all that happy stuff. All right, so I timed out how I wanted the time out. Good, very good. All right, so thank you all very much, and again, thanks for coming. Appreciate that, everybody. I know I went a little over. I didn't want to go this long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out now. Again, check out Renegade, and then again, this is what we're talking about today. So let me go ahead and throw the big graphic up one more time. You can catch all this stuff across the multiverse of media coming up all throughout the rest of this year. So thank you all very, very much. Again, check out everything on the Jay Hebert side of things, on the Simple Man brand, on NoDQ.com, on the Castadian Studios, and of course the Jeff Meacham Network itself. Will be back all throughout the week and all throughout the rest of this year. Joey, thank you again. I'll definitely try to find that answer for you if you don't find it in the next little bit or so. So thank you guys again. This has been a special presentation of Talk Wrestling across the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, the Greg Cherry brand, and NoDQ.com. I am good old JM Jeff Meacham, and we will see you next time right here on Talk Wrestling. Bye, guys.